Namaste, welcome to this episode of the Thursday Thoughts. On 6th of December, that is on Monday coming, the Premier of Russia, His Excellency Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin, is visiting India. So, in view of his visit, I thought, why don't we share some thoughts about the Indo Russian ties or the erstwhile Soviet and India ties, how they are and how it has evolved over the time, over the period of since India has got its independence. Well, immediately after India got its independence, the then Premier of USSR, that was USSR then, was Stalin, and he didn't have very great opinion about Mahatma Gandhi or the Congress at that time. But that changed with the demise of Stalin. And in 1955, when Jawaharlal Nehru visited Russia, they wanted to have good, friendly, cooperative relations with India. So that is when it all started. And in 1960s, already Russia was helping, assisting technologically or otherwise financially, a lot of projects in India. And come 1962, Khrushchev, Anatoly Khrushchev was the premier of Russia, and Indian Air Force got the orders to co-produce the most successful fighter aircraft in the history of the fighter aircraft, that is the Mikoyan Guerich 21, which is otherwise known as MiG-21 series of aircraft. They were being manufactured in India at the Nasik of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, the Nasik division, the aircraft division at Nasik. So India went on to produce from 400 to 500 MiG-21 different variants. Then we produced in 1984, we kept on producing the MiG-27, which is known as otherwise Bahadur. We had the Bison, MiG Bison, the upgradation which took place on the MiG-21s till even the turn of the millennium, turn of the century, that is 2000. And it so happened that immediately after the fighter aircraft program of MiG-21 and 27, we inked a deal with Russia for the backbone of Indian Air Force, that is the Sukhoi 30 MKI. 2001, it was inked, the deal was done, and again the same MiG complex of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited and various divisions, various other public as well as private sector companies, defense companies, they started assisting or supplying their inputs to the program that is now known as Sukhoi 30 MKI, that is the Mark India. And it's an awe-inspiring fact that even the Russians were surprised to see India doing the modifications on the Su-30 aircraft, which is originally designed by the Russian Federation or the Sukhoi aircraft manufacturers. We have added a lot of advanced avionics, a lot of other gadgets onto the aircraft to make it more powerful, more lethal. And even the Russians were awestruck to see the advancements, see the upgradations that we have done on the Sukhoi aircraft. Then what happened is Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, with his IGMDP program experience, India wanted to have a joint venture with Russia. And now it's history, everybody knows about it. The cruise missile, the anti-ship cruise missile, famous BrahMos, and how the name was derived by Abdul Kalam himself. He joined the first half of the reverse names of India and Russia, as everybody knows it. Brahmaputra, from the reverse name of India, Brahmaputra, he derived BRAH. And from the Moscow river of Moscow, Russia, he took MOS, and it became BrahMos, a joint venture company in the private sector headed by Dr. Shivatanu Pillai. And the concept was for the first time. And the Russians were again surprised to see the production capabilities of the Indian manufacturers, defense manufacturers, how we have manufactured the BrahMos missile, the most lethal missile ever to have flown by the Indian services, Indian armed services rather. So BrahMos missile is the best in its class in the world. Sukhoi, also 4.5 generation fighter aircraft. And there, one more surprise, pleasant surprise for the whole world came when the Nasik division of Hindustan Aeronautics Limited went ahead and integrated the BrahMos missile onto the Sukhoi aircraft. That was both the origin of both the products are Russian, but it is the Indian brains that got the installation of BrahMos missile onto Su-30 aircraft. So that is the power of 2 plus 2. It is not only 5, it can go beyond much of anybody's imaginations. So that is how we have had a great cooperation from the Russians in technological side, or even in the high tech, even in the aviation field, in the defense field. And as you all know, we had all the first steel plants in India in the late 60s, 1967, 1968. We had, name any of those steel plants, Bokaro, Rourkela, Bhilai, Durgapur, all those steel plants were built with the assistance from Russia. And as you all know, when it was to send an Indian to the space in the Soyuz T-11 satellite, it was Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma who went along with the Soyuz T-11 spacecraft, and he is in fact till date the first Indian to go into the deep space. And from high up in the space, when he talked to the then Prime Minister Mrs. Indira Gandhi, and his famous words were, "Sare jahan se acha Hindustan hamara." Yes, the joint ventures, the partnership between India and Russia is huge. We can keep on talking about it. And now the latest with the Modi government at the helm of affairs in India, Indian government has inked the S-400 anti-air defense system, or anti-missile air defense system, which is one of the costliest of the air defense system, which can ward off the danger from, or the threats from, cruise missiles or deep penetrating fighter aircraft. This is the $5.43 billion deal between Russia and India, and they have already started the supplies to the Indian Air Force. So there are plenty of partnerships going on in all levels, not only in defense, not only in space, we are also in steel plant, steel making, and there are so many other areas. So no wonder when from a Raj Kapoor movie, Mukesh started singing, Mera जूता है जापानी, ये पटलून हिंदुस्तानी, सर पे लाल टोपी रूसी, फिर भी दिल है हिंदुस्तानी. No wonder it was a big hit in Russia. And many of the movies, Avara, Sri Char Supis, all those movies are so big hits. They draw huge attendance in Russia and they are very fond of Indian movies. So there are cultural ties between the two countries. So suffice it to say, Spasiba Dasvidanya, meaning in English from Russian is Spasiba is thank you, Dasvidanya is till we meet again. Bye bye, God bless friends, till we meet again. Spasiba Dasvidanya.